उससे Ini voy a estar parando. Hindi chonkaram. अच्छा इस YouTube तत्की गिरास
Tamam ben хорошо.
Evening chanting, page 14. Yo so bhagava arhang samma sambuddho swakato yena bhagavata dhammo supatipanno yassa bhagavato savak sangho tamayam bhagavanta sadhammam sasangham imehi sakar yatha arham aropitehi abhijayama sadhuno bhante Bhagava suci parinibhutopi pachima janata nukampamanasa imi sakar dungat panaka bhute patiganhatu amhakam dikiratam hitaya sukhaya arhang samasa bhagava buddham bhagavanta abhivadi swakato bhagavata dhammo dhammam namasami supatipanno bhagavato sangho sangham namami Handmayam buddhas bhagavato bhag namakaram karomasi Namo tassa bhagavato arhato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arhato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arhato samma sambuddhassa Handmayam buddhanusatinayam karomasi tam kopana bhagavantam evam kalyano iti saddo abhugato iti piso bhagava arhang samma sambuddho vidyacharan sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purus dhamma rati sakta deva manussa buddho bhagavati गीतिं करोमसि बुद्धवारहन्त परतादिगुणाभियुतो शुद्धावियान करुणा हि समागततो बोधेसियो सुजनतं कमलं वसुरो वन्दाम्यहं तमरण शिरसा जिनेन्द्रं बुद्धो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं पठमानुसतिष्ठान वन्दामि तं शिरेणम् बुद्धस्सास्मि दासीव बुद्धो मे सामिकिस्सरो बुद्धस्सहं नियादेमि शरीरं जीवितं चिदं वन्दन्तीयं चरिस्सा बुद्धस्येव सुबोधितम् नास्ति मे शरणम् अन्यत् बुद्धो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सत्यवचेन वड्ढेयं सत्तु शासने बुद्धं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसूतम् इद सवेऽपि अन्तरा अमी माहेशुं तस्य तेजसा हन्दमयं धम्मानुसतिनयं करोमसि स्वाखातो भगवता धम्मो सन्दिठिको अकालिको एहिपस्सिको ओपनयिको पच्चत्तं वेदितव्यो विनियोगीति हन्दमयं धम्माभिगीतिं करोमसि स्वाखाततादिगुणयोगवशेन सेयो यो मद्गपाकपरियतिविमोहभेदो धम्मो लोकपतना तदधारी धारी वन्दामहं तमरं वरधम्ममेतं धम्मो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं द्वितीयानुसतिष्ठानं वन्दामि तं शिरेणहम् धम्मस्सास्मि दासीव धम्मो मे सामिकिस्सरो धम्मस्सहं नियादेमि शरीरं जीवितं चिदं वन्दन्तीहं चरिष्यामि धम्मस्यैव सुधम्मतं नास्ति मे शरणम् अन्यत् धम्मो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सत्यवचेन वड्ढेयं सत्तु शासने धम्मं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसूतम् इद सवेऽपि अन्तरायामि माहेशुं तस्य तेजसा हन्दमयं सङ्घानुसतिनयं करोमसि सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो सामीचिपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो यदिदं चत्तारि पुरुषयुगानि अष्टपुरुषपुगला एष भगवतो सावक संघो आहुनेयो पाहुने दक्षिणेयो अंजलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यकृतं लोकसाति हन्दमयं संगादिगीतिं करोमसि सधम्मजो सुपटिपतिगुणादियुतो यो अट्ठविदो अरियपुगलसङ्गसेठो शीलादिधम्मपवरा सयकायचित्तो वन्दाम्यहं तमरियान् गणं सुशुद्धं संघो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमम् ततीयानुसतिष्ठान वन्दामि तं शिरेणहं संघस्सास्मि दासीवा संघो मे सामिकीश्वरो संघासहं नियादेमि शरीरं जीवितं चिदं वन्दन्तीहं चरिष्यामि संघस्सोपटिपन्नतं नास्ति मे शरणम् अन्यत् संघो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सत्यवज्रेण वट्टेयं शासने संघं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसूतम् इद सभ्येऽपि अन्तरायामि माहेषु तस्य तेजसा
ओम महाचंद्र थेरा भोजंगा परिता चांट करेंगे। थर्ड है ना, तीसरा दिलान सुत्त 3।
हाँ
आते नमो तस्से भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धास्से। Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Evaṃ me sutaṃ ekaṃ samayaṃ bhagavā rājagaye vihārati veluvane kalandaka nivāpe. Tena khopana samayena bhagavā abadhiko hoti dukkhito bhalagilānu. Atthako ayasmā mahāchundu sayanna samayaṃ patisallānā utthitu yene bhagavā tenupasankami upasankamitva bhagavantaṃ abhivādetva ekamantaṃ nisīdi. Ekamantaṃ nisinnaṃ ko ayasmantaṃ mahāchundaṃ bhagavā etad hoti. Patibhantu taṃ chunda bojjhaṅghāti Satti me bhante bojjhaṅgā bhagavatā sammedakkhatā bhavitā bahulikatā abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattanti. Katami sattha sati sambojjhango kho bhante bhagavatā sammedakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati. Dhamma vicaya sambojjhango ko bhante bhagavatā sammedakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati. Viriya sambojjhango kho bhante bhagavatā sammedakkhato bhavito bahulikato abhiññāya sambodhāya nibbānāya samvattati. Pīti sambojjhango ko bhante භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තේ පස්සද්ධි සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තේ සමාධි සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තේ උපේක්ඛා සම්බොජ්ජංගෝ කෝ භන්තේ භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතෝ භාවිතෝ බහුලීකතෝ අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තේ ඉමේ කෝ භන්තේ සත්ත බොජ්ජංගා භගවතා සම්මදක්ඛාතා භාවිතා බහුලීකතා අභිඤ්ඤාය සම්බෝධාය නිබ්බානාය සංවත්තං තග්ග චුන්ද බොජ්ජංගා තග්ග චුන්ද බොජ්ජංගාති ඉදමෝ චායස්මා මහා චුන්දෝ සමනුඤ්ඤෝ සත්තා අහෝසි උත්ථායිච භගවා තම්මා ආබාධා තතා පයිනෝච භගවතෝ සෝ ආබාධෝ අහෝසි ඒතර සච්ච වජ්ජේන සොත්තිතේ හෝතු සබ්බදා ඒතන සච්ච වජ්ජේන සබ්බ රෝගෝ විනාශතු ඒදන සච්ච වජ්ජේන හෝතු තේ ජාය
Now we listen to a talk by Lungpur Veeradhamma on investigating the thoughts. There are some question answers also. We'll do a part of those question answers also.
From since you're talking.
Kaljin ka tha. Lungkor Vira Dhammo.
That's the only thing.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. So started to chat with some of you, which is always a very important for me to make a human connection, because I see faces, but I don't really know what's going on in your heart. And so I get a lot of... obviously I'm curious what works and what doesn't work. So if something works, then I build on that. If it doesn't work, I say forget it. So that's the way a teacher learns, I guess, through feedback. And then also just to see the sincerity and courage and goodwill of everyone who does this work. It's really an honor to be able to sit here and talk about my hobby. It's amazing. And one of the themes that came up was the whole way of dealing with thought and the seemingly endless rattle that goes on with thinking. But one of the things I've been trying to emphasize is that and there was a question here, talk more about stream of consciousness. By stream of consciousness, I mean just the various mental, physical events that are happening in consciousness as you sit here. So it might be sights and sounds and memories and feelings and doubts and sleepiness and restlessness, whatever. So that's the stream of experiential events that goes through consciousness. And why I say it that way is to observe the changing stream of events rather than being the person who's trying to figure something out or identify with it. So it's what we call the witnessing consciousness. You're witnessing the various events that are taking place. And that puts you in the position of observer rather than controller or judge or whatever. So it's not a request that you do anything about the events you're experiencing. Of course, that's hard to do because some of the events you would rather not experience, be it physical pain or some endless earworms, is that what they call them? Whatever, like that. So just that is quite an accomplishment to step back from the usual involvement, like with thought. Just to step back and notice thought as thought. It's huge. That's a big. A lot of people, you tell them that they've never realized, you can observe thought, huh? And that's a big revelation, I think, for anyone. I think I had that revelation way back I had slightly longer hair. I was in Amsterdam, sitting around doing I don't know what, but it must have been 1970. And the thought came to me, you can't put an end to thinking by thinking. It doesn't sound like much, but it was very profound. And I kept thinking. Not as easy as it sounds. But it was like an indication, that's not going to be my pathway. And then, of course, thought became more apparent as an object, but still the drivenness of thought through emotional content was profoundly disappointing. Just kind of going up all the time. So our practice isn't a practice of getting more knowledge or information. That's not what we're doing. That's other areas. Other areas do that. So if you wanted to study Buddhist, compare it to Buddhist philosophies, you could do that. That would be knowledge. You could study Buddhist history. That'd be all right too. But now we're not really. This isn't knowledge based. It's experiential based. And when you step back like that, then you begin to understand how the mind works and how suffering works and how to put an end to suffering. Without that kind of witnessing attitude, you would just be always caught up in stream of consciousness, right? And so that's what we're doing. So in the whole process of stream of consciousness, there's lots of thinking, and thinking takes up a heck of a lot of bandwidth, as they say. And most of us get totally fed up with it, or get fascinated by it, or try to get rid of it. So you say something like worry, common cycles of thinking that we get caught into, and so there's some fearful situation in the future, some fearful scenario for a future event comes into the mind. The mind notices that, and then it starts problem solving. If I do this, if I do that, then I do this, and I do that. If I do this, then I do that. And it seems like you're going to get a solution. And just when you think you got a solution, the mind will say, yes, but you haven't thought of this. Oh, yeah. And then you're off again, and that's rebirth. You're reborn into the realms of worry. And we all know that can go on for days. Just one after another, after another, after another. And then, of course, as you start to maybe practice meditation, you notice that, and then you try to get rid of the thinking. Well, that'll work, sure. But that doesn't work either. Okay, I'm not going to worry. If only it was that easy. It's not. Because worry isn't something you're doing, like deliberately. Worry is a force in consciousness, because it's habitual. And it's and stream of consciousness has been influenced in a way where whenever there's fear, there's worry, say, as an example. And that's what it does. Each time a fearful event looms in the future, then the mind's solution to that fear is thought and worry. Goes on and on and on. That's the only thing it knows how to do. So it's not like you're deliberately worrying, because if you were deliberately worrying, you wouldn't worry. All right? If that was true, okay, I just won't worry. No problem. and so what we're trying to notice in stream of consciousness is that worry arises because of causes and conditions, right? So and the cause might be that you have let's say you have to go for maybe I've got a skin lesion, and I have to go for a scan to see if it's cancer. Right? So then the mind thinks, oh, what if it's cancer? And then you run with thought. So it's not like I'm like deliberately doing it. That's just what the mind does when there's maybe, in this case, the unknown, or something else. Might be some mode of annoyance And so these habits of mind are part of stream of consciousness, and what we're trying to do is not to be kidnapped by them, and not to be preoccupied with them, because they themselves are suffering, but also as long as we're preoccupied with these movements in stream of consciousness, that preoccupation precludes or excludes the possibility of realizing the unconditioned. Our attention is always on the conditioned, and in Buddhism, the enlightenment is the realization of the unconditioned. So that's very important for me in my sense of why I do this work, why I am a monk, is that I'm terribly interested in the Buddha's enlightenment, and obviously interested in my own enlightenment. And not in a selfish way where I just say, buzz off, I'm getting enlightened, because that doesn't work either, but rather in a more like a scientist, I suppose, and more like a man of faith. I have faith that the Buddha's realization is authentic and real and doable. And I've had, Ajahn Chah and Ajahn Sumedho, so I've had examples of beings who are, to me, profound. So I know it's a human possibility. And so that's where my curiosity is. And I use that, as you know, those of you who have been with me, I use that language a lot, that there is the unconditioned, the uncreated, the unoriginated, the unborn, the deathless. If there are not the unconditioned, the uncreated, the unoriginated, the unborn, the deathless, there would be no escape from birth and death. All right? So that is a very important part of my intellectual structure. Now, whether you take that on board, I don't know, but that informs my my investigation and my relationship to conditions. All right? Because my sense of it, as the Buddha says, there's something that is akalika dhamma. It's timeless. It's not a matter of time. So what is a matter of time is birth and death, and emotions are being born and dying, and bodily feelings are born and dying, and this body born and dies, and relationships are born and dying. Right. So all of the stream of consciousness is changing. It's coming and it's going. And as long as my attention is preoccupied with the comings and goings of change, then I am not available. There's no possibility of noticing whatever the Buddha talked about. So that's why we need composure, and that's why we need to let go of worry. Not just because it's neat not to worry, but because then we have clarity, we have samadhi, we have composure, and then the capacity of attention becomes focused on awareness itself. So we say awareness of awareness, the awareness sense of being. What is that? So these are what we call like hindrances, and they're not so. So there's like it's a twofold thing. It's not just being psychologically happy. It's just saying if I can't get the mind free from this constant attachment to thought and all the emotions around it, then there's no way I'm going to notice anything more profound than that. And that's all just history and habit, isn't it? It's just it's all, it's like the smell of old food in your head. It just keeps going on and on and on. Sorry. You know what I mean? It's not new. It's not fresh. It's just like, here it goes again. So then try to get rid of it. But that doesn't work either. So what it requires is the understanding that these things arise because of causes and conditions. What would be the causes and conditions for the non-arising in the future? That's the way we put it. Okay? So if I then decide to, like, if I'm using the example of worry, if I decide then to investigate the whole structure of worry, I have to step outside of the particulars of worry and see worry as a type of mindset where I get all caught up. That's why I have to observe stream of consciousness. Otherwise, I'm just in the particulars of my worry. I worry about this, I worry about that, and this and that, and it's endless. So I have to step back and actually say, worry feels this way. So I say, you have to make conscious worry, obviously. Otherwise, I'll never understand worry. And then I have to figure out, why? Why does it keep going? What's the fuel for this? What's the energy that keeps this thing going? And so I notice that whenever there is the future and it seems dangerous, then that's very, very uncomfortable and fear arises. And what I don't know how to do is to be afraid, to feel fear. I need to alleviate the fear, and so what I do is I think. And that thinking is an attempt to get rid of the fear, isn't it? But just to sit there and feel the fear and not go to worry is kind of counterintuitive. It does seem like I'm getting somewhere with my worry. I almost got the answer this time. But, so at some point I just say, wait, okay. I'm just going to see what is fear really like? What is it really like to be afraid of the future? And that's a hard shift to make. And then I notice the desire to get rid of the fear. And this is where the Four Noble Truths come in. So the Four Noble Truths, there is suffering, there's the cause, there's the end, there's the path. The suffering has to be understood, so you have to make it conscious. The cause has to be abandoned, so you have to figure this out. And you have to realize the end of suffering. So in terms of fear, as I often say, my big problem with it is I didn't understand its cause. I thought that the cause of my fear I didn't understand the perpetuation of fear. And it took me a long time to see what was the fear of the fear and the aversion to the fear. Now I can say that in a few sentences, but I had to suffer for a few years to see that, because it was so deep-rooted in me, and then my tendency was always just to kind of do something about it or think about it, that I couldn't get enough mindfulness or awareness around the fear itself. So I had to train to welcome the fear. Come in, all right, let's have it. And that's counterintuitive, to welcome some kind of suffering. But that's what the First Noble Truth is asking us to do, is make conscious this discontent you're feeling, any mode of discontent, be it the slightest sense of friction with your partner or self-disparagement, or any mode of lack of fulfillment, whatever it is, make it conscious. As Ajahn Sumedho would say, stand under it, understand it, stand under it, make it conscious. And we don't tend to do that. We either distract or think it through or blame, and just this kind of raw feeling of, I don't like being here. Or I really don't like myself, or and what is it like? So from that, you have a chance to see then, okay, what is it that I'm creating around this? Because this fear has come up. I haven't asked for it. It's not my fault. If I really hate someone, it's not my fault. Because I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just the way the mind's conditioned. That's very important, because we take it personally, in a way of blame. If you were a really good monk, you wouldn't worry, or whatever it is. But so stream of consciousness is like getting out of the personal and seeing this as Dharma. So then the fear starts to come up. What's the real problem? What's the suffering? What's the cause? I don't want the fear. That's the insight. Easy to say. And then I said, if I ever notice that, there's the fear, and there's the not wanting of the fear, that's extra. That's something I'm adding, or that's being added through habit to this problem. And then I say, okay, so what's the solution? It's the abandonment of wanting, which is different than doing something about the fear. And that insight is the insight to the Third Noble Truth. You let go of the wanting. And then you're going to see what's the difference between fear and wanting fear not to be there. Now, this takes some work. This is easy to throw out in 5 minutes, but it's considerable work on the heart, because quite often we just go off into thinking. And so we have to make intentions to look at these fundamental contractions of the heart that we all experience, and make it the project. The project this year is, I'm going to look at worry. As opposed to making a New Year resolution, I'm not going to worry. You forget it. You just feel guilty by January 3rd. I guess it doesn't work that way, it just doesn't work that way. But you can make a project like, okay, I'm going to investigate the nature of fear and worry. That's doable. And that's actually, it is interesting, because it's the closest thing to your mind. And if you can figure that one out, and all the other ones that we have to figure out, then you begin to really liberate the heart from these obstructions and obscurations, as the Tibetans say, or hindrances, as we might say, or defilements, as we might say, whatever you call them. And then that's the beginning. Then you cleared away some of the rubbish. All right? Now you get a bit of space. The bandwidth isn't all full with this stuff now. Now you begin to experience some spaces of silence. And then it gets more interesting. Right? That might take you 15 years to get there. Or who knows? Yeah? But what else is there to do? Right? Like get drunk? Watch Netflix for 12 hours? It won't last. So we have no choice. We have no choice but to get enlightened, as I say. My first years of monastic life were very difficult. Just on so many levels, and oftentimes I wish I just want to go to a pub, drink beer, and eat peanuts. I've had enough. But I had no choice. Once you start, the road of distraction doesn't work. It just doesn't work, even though you'd like it to work. So you make conscious the very thing which takes up your most bandwidth. So then thought. So watching stream of consciousness, thought will come into your field, and so then what the habit of thought is, then as soon as you notice thinking, you'll try to get rid of thinking. That's the usual pattern. And people ask me, how do I get rid of thinking, Bhante? Or whatever. But there are lots of moments in stream of consciousness where thought is interrupted. The sound of someone clattering in the kitchen. All of a sudden you notice the clattering in the kitchen. The sound of bird song in the morning when you're sitting here. A pain in the knee when you're sitting. So there's lots of times where the whole drama of thought is interrupted. And the idea in understanding thought is to notice the gaps, as we say, and then to, I would say, affirm the ending of thought. Because thought has ended, but what we tend to do is we try to get rid of thought in that moment. Or we analyze why we're thinking so much. Or we think that if we didn't think so much, we wouldn't think as much. And, it gets ridiculous. But we don't notice that thought has actually stopped, but it has stopped. And so my suggestion has been, know that you know. Now, if you really affirm that, know that you know, or you don't do that, at least you make that suggestion, and then you see that as soon as you notice thinking, then you get into this, I have to try harder. That's a common one. You're doing walking meditation back and forth innocently, and then you've lost it for 4 rounds. Right? You've been in Thailand and talking to Lompa Liam, and then the bell rings. No, let's say that the bell doesn't ring. You notice it, and then you say, okay, I got to try harder. That's not being awake. That's trying harder. That's a me trying to get something in the future called no thought, so I have to try harder. I'm not saying then you just keep thinking, but what works is at that moment when you feel hopeless or whatever, you actually just register. Oh, it's like this now. I know that I know, and hold that. And that's different than trying harder not to think. And it does work that way. It's a very insidious kind of. It seems logical. Yeah, we have to try harder. Okay, 20 paces. No thought. It just does not work because thought will come up. It's not. You don't have a choice. I'm sorry, but its arising needn't obsess you if you can begin to get this space around thought. So then the other way to do it is like if you've been thinking about Thailand or something, and you notice that scenario, then stop and think deliberately for half a sentence. I'll be in Bangkok in November. And then stop. So you take like a very strong mood. It works very, very well. You have a strong mood of worry, say. Right? Oh, what am I going to do? And you notice it. Then rather than trying to suppress it, which we do, or just rifling on with it, say it deliberately. I'm going to panic soon. A weird one. Whatever you want. But you actually, you say it deliberately, and then you stop and say, I know that I know. You see, so you're inserting the strength of presence rather than trying to be the person that doesn't think. Because that's just more self-view, more ego, and that's what's happening. Self-view is creating thought through the habit of emotion. But when you establish clarity like that, did I just do a cross? Sorry. When you establish clarity, what you're establishing is the mind free from that egoic kind of thought, which is not becoming, it's not based on desire, it's clarity. And those moments, if you keep establishing, those are the moments which begin to have, say, a kind of effect on stream of consciousness. Because they're now being known, and they start to have an effect rather than just the habits. Whereas if you just try to go through this, I must try harder, it's the same ego. It's the same desire system. It's not really getting out of it. So it still fills your stream of consciousness, and your bandwidth is still full of that. So that's why, like this, it doesn't sound like much, know that you know. But what is it pointing to? Lompa Tomatoes, it's like this. It's pointing to something very, very profound. But you have to do it. You have to affirm it and say, yeah, that's it, I'm home. So in that moment, the whole point of it is non-desire. That's because you're already there. Where's to go? But because you remember the thoughts, you get into desire and think, I have to get rid of the thoughts. And that doesn't work. So that was the strongest thing I think that came from our discussions. And we all suffer from that one in various ways. Any questions around that? That kind of... It's a big one. It's something to contemplate and work on. So right when you wake up, your mind will be thinking about something. Whatever you were worrying about at 9 p.m., at 5:35, there it will be. Oh, great, you're back. It just... But then you can say, and worry feels this way. And then you've established it. Yes?
You asked if there's any questions, and I was thinking, because we do this work, and to be able to calm our minds and to see clearly and the like. But yet, another option is to go see your doctor and get a little pill that just dulls everything. And, that's what I'm sitting going, I'm sitting here going, why am I doing this work? It's like,
beats me. Yeah, I don't know why people come.
it's just
I've done pills, but not the dulling ones.
But no, you've got anxiety, you go see, you're stressed at work or whatever, you go see your doctor, you take these, and so you take these and then you kind of going around sort of like, well, okay, I don't feel much.
Yeah.
So,
I've never done that, so I don't have personal experience. You'd have to talk to meditators who have done that, who've taken that option. And I don't know. This is the option I've taken, right?
It's medical. What I'm saying is sort of that, medicine is looking at the brain and looking at...
Then you have to go to people who know that. Yeah, I don't have experience of that.
Suffering, so...
Well, this is the way I deal with suffering.
Yeah.
So you take it on board. If it's useful, you use it, and if it's not, you find other avenues. Yeah. I just can talk. This is my little niche.
Okay.
Yeah. I can see. This is the one I found hard to read. I can see that the more we practice renunciation, the more temptations or opportunities present themselves. Anyway, I'm not sure what that question means, but that was several people are at the age of retirement, and renunciation is one of the paramis, one of the 10 perfections that the Buddha talked about, and I would really, those of you who have a chance to retire and put down the whatever you put down, to really consider as you live your life, how can you do less? I would say, because that's what renunciation is about. How can you do less? Because do the, to investigate and to incline towards the spiritual, to the unconditioned, that takes a lot of silence. And if you're silence both environmentally but also in your own heart, and if your mind is always being filled with information, that's not immoral. It's beyond a question of morality. It just makes you busy. So renunciation is like the simplification of our outgoings, so that, again, I like this idea of bandwidth, that it's not just filled with all manner of information, and that you have a chance to do more, like you sit in a chair and really contemplate the whole nature of presence and being and silence, and these are interesting, very, very interesting contemplations. So, like, as people retire, you have choices, some, right? Some you don't have, but do look at, like, how can I make my life less, how can I make my thinking processes less busy? And it's up to you. And that, in the classic Indian model of family life, after raising the kids, and the kids are okay and they're married off and so on and so forth, the family person becomes a sannyasin, a renunciant, a monk or a nun. So that's the model in India, isn't it? Yeah, and it's quite a beautiful model. Not many do it, and the ones that do it, their families are very upset. I met a guy in was it when we were in India last year, the year before, some time ago. He ordained as a samanera in India, and we went to Sri Ramana ashram, and there was a guy there who was an engineer, I think, and he was in sannyasin robes, just walking around, living the life of a sannyasin on the streets of this town, and very well spoken English. Family very upset when he did this. Just gave it all away and walked off. We don't have those models. We have street people, but they don't do it out of that. They do it out of necessity. But anyway, not that I'm suggesting you upset your grandchildren, but rather that you really think about how can a lifestyle be less complicated. We live in a very complicated society, and our society has very interesting complications. It's not that they're bad, right? All the things that you can do, but the mind then has to have some, just the mind needs space to do this kind of contemplation. So I came up with several people about that renunciation. How do I remain assertive when I feel intimidated by others who view compassion and generosity as weakness? Also, why is it hard to practice generosity to some who may have expectations, or it seems closer to obligations? So the first one, well, yeah, some work environments are toxic. And I don't really have I chose a work environment which wasn't toxic. So, say someone like Ajahn Chah, no one messed with him. He was a shogun. He was, that's what George Sharp called him. This man's a shogun. Fearless. Just absolutely fearless, right? And he was the king of the castle. I mean, he had his own environment. He didn't have a boss. He had the Buddha as a boss. So that's different. But you could see how someone who is fearless has compassion, but also has incredible strength. So I think quite often the situation of compassion and generosity as weakness is when it's also conjoined either with a situation where you have no power. And when you have no power and there's someone in authority over you that has more power and is nasty, then you've got a bad situation. And do the best you can to survive it, right? And get out of it. But sometimes there is also the situation where we also have fear, and people can bully us because they know how to find the fearful part of us, and they know how to manipulate. That's what bullies do. We know that, right? So that part you can work on, that whole sense of fearfulness in a relationship. And I've had that as a senior monk. I had one nasty experience where one monk was just going for me. Monks don't do this. and he was a bit of a bully, and he could get my fear button. It took me a long time to figure out that one, but I understood myself a lot through that. Of course, it was a very good environment. There was no one getting hurt and so on. I wasn't going to lose my job, and so on. So it was hard, but then I didn't understand that fearful part of my heart. So if that's the case, if it's around fear, you can make an intention to try to be aware of that. And then in terms of compassion and generosity, if people are not reciprocal, well then, the fourth of the Brahma Viharas is equanimity, peaceful coexistence with the way things are. And then sometimes you can't be outgoing. You have to be reserved. It's not an environment where you can be vulnerable. You have to do that. And I don't have that much in my own life, so it's good to talk with people in work situations that have that. But yeah, if you have no power and someone else has more power, it can't be easy. So then, if that is a work situation, then you really have to make sure when you get home, you do some practice. You clear it out, or in the mornings you get some space where the tension which has been built up because you have no choice, that you can get away from it and let it become conscious, because otherwise it'll just fester in you and give you ulcers and cancers, and we know that. So that's where daily life practice comes in, where you come home and then you just feel this tension or whatever coming out of you. Then you don't really have to meditate. You just have to not distract. That's hard to do. You'd rather veg out in front of a television because it's just so relaxing. But just to feel the toxic result of someone who's really cruel to you, then at least clears it out for the day. And then, at least in the next day, you have more chance of trying to be more equanimous. And those are very important things. If you don't do that, then it's just the build-up is horrible. And then you have to, I guess, you go to that situation and say, okay, how can I just stay with my body, the bodily feelings? So then you might feel the impact of someone's cruelty, but you just stay here with a bodily feeling, then it tends to go through you. Very hard to do. But if that's how life is, that's what your practice has to be. You say, well, whatever comes, I'm going to try to use it for practice. Because there's no use hating the person. That just makes it worse, doesn't it? Feels good. Feels good, but it doesn't really work. Why is it hard to practice generosity to some who may have expectations? It seems closer to obligation. Well, because it just is. It just is. Sometimes some people you don't really want to be generous to. So then idealism. Don't feel, or feel what you want to feel, but look at the ideal that it should be anyway. Like we were talking about injustice, like that it should be a just world. It's not. It's not a just world. It's lots of injustice. So you're constantly coming out, well, this is where this character is. And then you see what you're creating around it. If you keep doing that, it's like this, with another person or yourself, then at least you can see what's being created and around that. But these are, it's kind of how you learn about yourself, don't you? See, the worst thing is when you want to be generous to someone and then someone just puts a brick wall to your face. Very painful. Very, very painful. But I had that once. I was at a meeting in London of an opening of a Tibetan some kind of Tibetan vihara, and it was a pan Buddhist meeting, and it's different schools, and I was representing Amaravati, I think, and it was a weird kind of thing. It was almost like a cocktail party. I said, how did I get in here? In any case, I don't think it was booze, I think it was apple juice, but I'm sitting around feeling like a fish in a tree, right? This kind of... And this guy comes at me and he starts attacking me. And he says, you Theravadins, you doing this and you're doing that. And he was angry about some of the monks in Sri Lanka who were promoting violence against the Tamils. So that you have these political monks, they're not really monks. And they were, so he was kind of coming at me. But the thing is, I was totally vulnerable. I was just totally open. Oh, may you be well. And it took me about a week to process that. It's just, I was such a sucker. So that happens sometimes. And of course, then I went back and I meditated and I had some unorthodox thoughts about this man. And I just, this is the feeling, and don't go to the thought, this is the feeling, and eventually, where do I? And it was very interesting, that really surprised me. And funny enough, walking away from that, this is also weird, this is a segue. I'm walking along with my mates, feeling sorry for myself, or whatever I was feeling. And this lady's walking a dog, big dog, and the dog jumps up on me, but licks my face. And what was that about? And she says, he never does that. Yeah, I hope not. But when your heart is open, like Ajahn Chah's heart was open, but he was also fearless. There was like there's no one there to get hurt. That was the profundity of him. So I think anyway, the more we do this, the more we come to that confidence and silence, the more we respond appropriately.
हम इसका संक्षेप में अनुवाद करता हूँ। इस वार्तालाप के शायद शुरू में कुछ चर्चा हुई होगी स्ट्रीम ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस, चित्तधारा के बारे में और विचारों को कैसे रोका जाए, तो उसी चर्चा का ही एक पार्ट था। तो उन्होंने समझाया कि भाई जो हम स्ट्रीम ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस या चित्तधारा की बात करते हैं, उसका अर्थ है कि जो भी मानसिक मेंटल एक्टिविटीज़ होती रहती हैं, देखना, सुनना, समझना, अपने शरीर के ऊपर जो कुछ घटनाएं घट रही हैं, वेदना हो रही है, संवेदना हो रही है, दर्द हो रहा है, वो सब चीज़ें चित्त में रजिस्टर होती रहती हैं। तो वो सारी चीज़ें मिलके एक चित्तधारा को कहा जाए, क्योंकि वो प्रतिक्षण बदलती रहती हैं। तो उन्होंने कहा, सुझाव दिया था कि उसको साथ साथ एक विटनेसिंग कॉन्शियसनेस भी है, जो कि हम उसको देख सकते हैं, देख पाते हैं कि क्या हो रहा है। इसके बदले कि हम उसको जज करें, कंट्रोल करने की कोशिश करें कि हमारी चित्तधारा में क्या आ रहा है, ये मुश्किल ज़रूर है, लेकिन बहुत आवश्यक है अगर हमको दुख से मुक्ति पानी है। क्योंकि अगर हम उस चित्तधारा के अंदर जो चीज़ें आ रही हैं उनको हम कुरेदने लगे और उनको हैंडल करने लगेंगे, तो फिर वो अंतहीन काम हो जाएगा। विचारों के बारे में जैसे उन्होंने कहा कि जब वो कभी गृहस्थी थे, तभी उनको इंसाइट आ गई थी कि आप विचारों को सोच के ही ख़त्म नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन वो हृदयंगम तभी हुई जब पूरी साधना अच्छी तरह से कर पाए, तब तक नहीं हो पाती। और जो साधना है वो कहते हैं केवल ज्ञान अर्जन करने के लिए जो भगवान बुद्ध की शिक्षा को बुद्धि के स्तर पर समझने के लिए काफ़ी नहीं है। हमको अनुभव के आधार पर समझना होगा किस तरह से मन काम करता है, किस तरह से दुख जागता है। क्योंकि अगर हमारी चित्तधारा जो है विचारों से ही भरी रहती है तो उसमें कोई और गुंजाइश नहीं रहती कुछ और कर पाने की। तो जैसे उन्होंने चिंता का उदाहरण दिया कि हम चिंता जब करते हैं तो ज़्यादातर यही होता है कि भविष्य में कुछ ऐसा ना हो जाए, और फिर हम सोचते हैं कि भविष्य में ऐसा होगा तो मैं क्या करूँगा, फिर उसके बारे में प्लानिंग करने लगते हैं। फिर हमें लगता है कि हाँ अब तो ये समझ में आ गया भविष्य में ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा करूँगा, और फिर बाद में ख्याल आता नहीं ये बात छूट गई फिर। और अगर ऐसा ही सोचते रहें तो कई घंटों कई दिनों तक ये करते रहेंगे, लेकिन बात कभी सुलझेगी नहीं, क्योंकि हम उसके अंदर जो कंटेंट है चित्तधारा का उसको उससे उलझने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। हमको ये समझना होगा कि हम जानबूझ के कोई वरी नहीं करते, चिंता नहीं करते। ये कुछ कंडीशंस और कॉजेज़ के कारण चित्तधारा में ऐसी आदतें हैं जिसके कारण ये पैदा हो रही है। और भी कई उन्होंने उदाहरण दिए, इनको छोड़ देते हैं। और ये जो जब ये विचार चित्तधारा में इस तरह के जो बहुत गहरे हैं तो आते हैं तो वो हमारे सारी अटेंशन को किडनैप कर लेते हैं। हम जो हमारी साधना का जो उनको बताते हैं, हमारी साधना का मुख्य उद्देश्य यही रहा है कि जो अनकंडीशनड है उसकी तरफ काम करना है, उसकी तरफ आगे बढ़ना है, जो कि भगवान बुद्ध की एनलाइटनमेंट की मुख्य बात है। तो कहते हैं कि मुझे पूरा विश्वास है और अपने आचार्यों को देख के लगता है ये संभव है, तो इसलिए मैं उसी मार्ग, मेरी साधना उसी तरफ होती है कि चित्तधारा में जहाँ भी व्यवधान हो उसको अनकंडीशन की तरफ ले आ जाए। क्योंकि जो कंडीशंस हैं उनके अंदर से हम अनकंडीशन की ओर नहीं जा सकते, इसलिए हमको कोशिश यही करनी चाहिए कि उनको ऑब्जर्वर के तौर पर देखने का अभ्यास पुष्ट करें। क्योंकि अगर मैं चित्तधारा में के साथ उलझा रहूँगा तो मेरे पास इतना अटेंशन स्पैन नहीं होगा कि मैं जो अनकंडीशनड है, जो शुद्ध चित्त है, शुद्ध अवेयरनेस है, उसकी ओर ध्यान दे सकूँ या उसमें स्थित हो सकूँ। हमको ये समझना होगा कि विचार जो है किसी कंडीशन से जागते हैं, और इसी तरह से किस तरह से वो नहीं जागेंगे उनकी भी कुछ कंडीशंस होती हैं। तो जब हम, जैसे उन्होंने चिंता का फिर गहराई लंबा उदाहरण दिया था कि किस तरह से हम उसको समझ सकते हैं, उसका भय से उसको रिलेट कर सकते हैं, और फिर हम भय को भी कुरेदने की जगह ये देखना चाहें कि भाई उसको समझना चाहें। जैसे 4 आर्य सत्यों में समझाया जाता है कि जो भय है उसके नेचर क्या है उसको समझें, और उसको समझेंगे, उसके काज को समझेंगे तो दुख जो है निरंतरता से बढ़ता नहीं जाएगा। क्योंकि वो अपना उदाहरण देते हैं कि उनको भय बहुत होता था और वो उसको बीच बीच में रोकते रहते थे, लेकिन फिर दोबारा आ जाता था। तो उनको ये नहीं समझ आ रहा था कि ये भय बार बार क्यों आ रहा है। तो जब गहराई से तो अपनी चित्तधारा को देखा तो मालूम क्या कि चित्त की जो टेंडेंसी है भय के प्रति, उसको हटाने की टेंडेंसी रहती है, उसको समझने की टेंडेंसी नहीं रहती। क्योंकि जब हम चित्त से भय को हटाने की कोशिश करते हैं तो वो हटाने की कोशिश ही अपने में एक उसको बढ़ाने का प्रयास काम करती है। क्योंकि जो भय जागता है वो तो परिस्थितियों के बस जागा, लेकिन हम जो उसको नहीं चाहते ये हमारी तरफ से उसमें एडिशन हो जाता है कि मैं ये नहीं चाहता हूँ। और द रियल थिंग इज़ दिस वांटिंग इज़ समथिंग एक्स्ट्रा वी हैव एडेड। तो अगर हमको इस वांटिंग को देखना है और इस वांटिंग को अबंडन करना, ये हमारे हाथ में, क्योंकि कॉन्शियसली हम कर रहे हैं। जो भय जाग रहा है वो अनकॉन्शियसली जाग रहा है हमारे अनुशय क्लेशों के कारण, तो उसको हम उतनी डायरेक्टली हैंडल करना समझदारी नहीं होगी। जो उसमें हम ऐड कर रहे हैं, जो तृतीय आर्य सत्य है कि जो हमने तृष्णा जागी है उसको छोड़ दें, तो एक तरह की तृष्णा है कि हम भय को हटाना चाहते हैं। उसको अगर हम छोड़ देंगे तो वो स्वतः उससे मुक्ति मिल जाएगी। और हाँ, ये उन्होंने भी कहा कि कोई ऐसा काम नहीं है कि आप तुरंत हो जाएगा, बार बार, क्योंकि संस्कार गहरे हैं तो वो बार बार आता है, वो बार बार उसको अभ्यास करना पड़ेगा। तो जब लेकिन अभ्यास ठीक तरह से करेंगे तभी होगा। अगर हम ठीक से अभ्यास नहीं करेंगे तो वो इनडायरेक्टली हम ईगो के ग्रिप में पड़े रहते हैं, क्योंकि मैं चाहता हूँ कि मैं ऐसा करूँगा, मुझे भय को हटाना है, उस भाव से करते रहेंगे तो वो कभी हटेगा नहीं। और उन्हें एक और पॉइंटर दिया कि अगर हम देखें, जब भी मान लीजिए चित्त धारा में कोई बहुत सारे विचार भी आ रहे हैं, तब भी आप देखेंगे कि बीच बीच में वो विचार अपने आप रुक जाते हैं। कहीं से आवाज़ आई, कहीं से कुछ स्मेल आ गई, कहीं से कुछ पेन, हाथ टांग में दर्द हो गया, तो वो विचार की धारा रुक जाती है, लेकिन हम उसको रुकने नहीं देते। हम उस बात को नोट नहीं करते कि देखो ये विचार रुक रहे हैं, और उसको अफर्म करना चाहिए। जहाँ भी किसी भी कारण से जब वो चित्त धारा में विचार चलते जा रहे हैं और बीच में रुकते हैं, तो उसके रुकने को अगर हम नोट करेंगे तो देन वी कैन से हाँ मुझे मालूम पड़ रहा है, एंड देन वी कैन ऑपरेट in that manner of knowing that I know what is happening. उन्होंने वॉकिंग मेडिटेशन का अपना उदाहरण दिया पहले का, कि जैसे वो चल रहे थे और 3-4 बार उनको कहीं जाना होगा थाईलैंड, तो चल रहे थे तो 3-4 राउंड जो है ऐसे ही निकल गए। फिर उनको ख्याल आया कि वो अच्छा, फिर सोचा कि शुरू में कई अधिकतर साधक ये सोचेंगे अच्छा मैं और गहराई से कोशिश करता हूँ और ठीक सजग रहने की कोशिश करता हूँ, ताकि मैं कम से कम 3-4 राउंड तो ठीक से निकाल लूँ, मेरा मन इधर उधर ना झटके। तो कहते हैं ये देखने समझने में तो बहुत अच्छी बात लगती है, लेकिन क्योंकि मैं इसमें अपना अहम डाल रहा हूँ कि मैं करके रहूँगा, वो भाव ही इसकी सक्सेस में बाधा बन जाता है। जब ऐसा हो तो हमको रजिस्टर करना चाहिए कि हाँ मन भटक गया है, मन जा रहा है, एंड देन रिलैक्स एंड ब्रिंग दी। तो ऐसा करने से क्या होगा कि जो चित्त धारा में जो अहम का भाव, अहम के कारण जो डिफाइलमेंट्स बनी हुई हैं, उनमें बीच में रोक लग जाती है, ब्रेक लगती है उसको एक शुद्ध चित्त की। अगर हम उसको देख लेते हैं इस तरह से, तो धीरे धीरे वो उनका इम्पैक्ट कम होने लगता है। लेकिन अगर हम अपनी ईगो के हिसाब से कहें कि मुझे और मेहनत करनी चाहिए, और कठिनाई से और गंभीरता से साधना करनी चाहिए, मेरे को चित्त को इधर उधर भटकने नहीं देना है, ऐसा सोच के करेंगे तो ये सामान्यता तो लगेगा कि बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन चित्त ऐसे काम करता नहीं है। हमको उसको वो भी एक तृष्णा ही बन जाती है और फिर उससे परेशानी बढ़ती है। मुख्य बात ये कि जो भी हो रहा है उसको हम जानें कैसा है, उसको अंडरस्टैंड करने की कोशिश करें, क्योंकि जो दुख है उसको समझना है, उसको दूर नहीं करने की कोशिश करें डायरेक्टली। फिर प्रश्न थे, एक ने कोई प्रश्न पूछा जो शायद उन्होंने कहा कि मैं तो ऐसा कभी ना करूँगा, कुछ उन्होंने कहा होगा, तो इसलिए वो तो उसके बाद में फिर उन्होंने जवाब कहा कि जितना हम कोशिश करेंगे त्याग करने की किसी और सवाल के उत्तर में, ख़ासतौर पर मुझे लगता है वो महिला बड़ी उम्र की रही होंगी, तो हमारे पास और अपॉर्चुनिटी होगी कि मन जो है शांत रह सके, क्योंकि अधिकतर हमारा मन उलझा रहता है विचारों में, और वो एक पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं रहती कि वो अनकंडीशन की तरफ आगे बढ़े। तो मैंने कहा उदाहरण दिया जैसे कि भारतीय संस्कृति में गृहस्थ लोग भी जब बड़े हो जाते हैं तो सन्यासी जैसे बन जाते हैं, ताकि वो संसार से अलग हो जाएं और अपना ध्यान संसार की चीज़ों में लिप्त ना रहें, और उसके पास अपॉर्चुनिटी रहे, उतनी बैंडविड्थ रहे कि वो कंटेम्पलेट कर सकें मन के बारे में, जीवन के बारे में, और फिर अनकंडीशन की तरफ बढ़ने का प्रयास कर सकें। फिर एक प्रश्न था कि कई बार हम चाहते हैं करुणा और दान की और जनरॉसिटी की बात करना, लेकिन वर्क एनवायरनमेंट टॉक्सिक हो तो वहाँ पे लगता है कि लोगों को उसका जो प्रत्युत्तर है वो मिलता नहीं है। तो उसके संदर्भ में उन्होंने काफ़ी बातें की। संक्षेप में जो मूल पॉइंटर्स ये थे कि कई बार सचमुच में अगर वर्क एनवायरनमेंट बहुत टॉक्सिक है तो वी देयर इज़ एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर अस टू प्रैक्टिस उपेक्षा, इक्वानिमिटी की प्रैक्टिस करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि जैसी चीज़ें हैं ये अगर हम समझते हैं दिस इज़ द वे थिंग्स आर, देन वी हैव टू प्रैक्टिस इक्वानिमिटी। और किसी उस परिस्थिति के प्रति या किसी आदमी के प्रति, अपने बॉस के प्रति नफरत करने से कुछ लाभ नहीं होगा, क्योंकि उससे तो परेशानी बढ़ेगी। वी हैव टू लर्न हाउ टू बी पीसफुली कोएग्जिस्ट विद द हाउ थिंग्स आर। और ऐसी परिस्थिति के लिए उन्होंने कहा कि हाँ डेली मेडिटेशन करेंगे तो फिर धीरे धीरे और इक्वानिमिटी बनने की संभावना होगी। फिर एक और प्रश्न था कि कि हम चाहते हैं कि जनरस हों और लोग उसको ठीक नहीं मान रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने बताया कि हमको ये समझना पड़ेगा कि जैसी चीज़ें हैं वैसी हैं, जैसी हमारी वर्क एनवायरनमेंट है वैसी स्थिति है, सो दिस इज़ द वे इट इज़, जैसे लुंगपुर कहते हैं, तो उसका मतलब बहुत प्रोफाउंड मतलब है कि हम उसको इक्वानिमिटी में एक्सेप्ट कर रहे हैं। जो आइडियलिज्म है कि जनरॉसिटी का प्रत्युत्तर अच्छा ही होना चाहिए, कंपैशन का प्रत्युत्तर अच्छा ही होना चाहिए, वो एक आदर्शवाद है जो आवश्यक नहीं है, क्योंकि संसार जो है वो जस्ट नहीं है। ऐसा नहीं हम कह सकते कि संसार को में सब जस्टिस ही होनी चाहिए, वो चाहिए तो है लेकिन नहीं है, जैसा है वो वैसा ही है। तो हमको जैसा संसार है वैसा ही उसमें रहने का अभ्यास करना चाहिए, और वो तभी होता है जब हम चीज़ों को एक्सेप्ट कर लेंगे ठीक से, समझदारी से। फिर उन्होंने अपने उदाहरण दिए किसी मीटिंग में, जैसे कोई वो थेरावादा को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे थे अमरावती मोनास्ट्री में, तब वो थे, बहुत पुरानी बात होगी। तो कोई आए थे उनके पास जो उनसे कंप्लेन कर रहे थे कि थे आप लोग के जो श्रीलंकन मॉन्क्स हैं वो ऐसा कर रहे हैं, वो वायलेंस प्रमोट कर रहे हैं। तो उनको हालांकि कहते हैं कि मैं तो मन में यही भाव कर रहा था कि मंगल हो, तुम्हारा मंगल हो, लेकिन मैंने देखा बाद में कि उसका उनके वार्तालाप का बड़ा भारी असर पड़ा। और फिर वो जब उसको इन्वेस्टिगेट किया तो सारी बातें सब स्पष्ट हो गई कि किस तरह से मन में अशुद्धि जागती है और कैसे उससे छुटकारा पाया जा सकता है। अब थोड़ी देर शांत रह के फिर ब्रह्म विहारों का अभ्यास करेंगे। पहले मैत्री ब्रह्म विहार, रोज़ की भांति जो हम चैंटिंग करते हैं उसके साथ साथ मैत्री का भी अभ्यास करेंगे। अहं अवीरोमि अव्यापञ्जोमि अनिगोमि सुखी अत्तानं परिहरामि। मम माता पितु आचार्या च ज्ञातिमित्ता च स ब्रह्मचारिणो च अविराहोन्तु अव्यापञ्जाहोन्तु अनिगाहोन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। देवता भूमट्ठा देवता आकट्ठा देवता आकाशट्ठा देवता अवेरा होन्तु अव्यापज्जा होन्तु अनीगा होन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। अब समस्त प्राणियों के प्रति खास तौर पे उनको भी याद करके जिनके प्रति कोई रोष हो, नाराज़गी हो, सब्बे सत्ता सब्बे पाना सब्बे भूता सब्बे पुंगला सब्बे अत्ता भाव परियापन्ना सब्बा इत्थियो सब्बे पुरुषा सब्बे अरिया सब्बे अनरिया सब्बे देवा सब्बे मनुष्या सब्बे विनिपातिका अवीरा होन्तु अव्यापज्जा होन्तु अनीगा होन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। अब करुणा ब्रह्म विहार। इस समय दुखी लोगों की संख्या बहुत, महामारी से दुखी, उसके कारण हुए लोगों की मृत्यु के कारण लाखों लोग दुखी, घरों में बंद होने के कारण करोड़ों लोग दुखी परेशान। उन सब की परेशानियां, दुख को देखकर मन में उसका विचार करके करुणा जागती है कि जल्दी से जल्दी दुख से मुक्ति मिले, सारे कष्ट सभी प्राणियों के दूर हों, जो बाधाएं आ रही हैं वो सब दूर हों, सभी स्वस्थ हों, निरोग हों, दीर्घायु। सब्बीतियो विभज्जन्तु शोको रोगो विनश्यतु माते भवतु अन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घायुको भव सुखी दीर्घायुको भव सुखी दीर्घायुको भव। हम कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन सभी के प्रति जो इस विषम परिस्थिति में लोगों की सेवा में नाना प्रकार से सेवा में लगे हैं। सबका आभार, सबका धन्यवाद। सभी सुरक्षित रहें, प्रसन्न रहें, स्वस्थ रहें, उनके कार्य में कोई बाधा ना आए, कोई बाधा ना डाले। तो आए हम सब ये पुण्यों को याद करके उनके साथ साझा करें पुण्यों को। पुण्यस्य इदानि याना अन्यानि कथानि मे तेषां च भागिनो हन्तु सत्तानन्तपमानका। अब मुदिता ब्रह्म विहार। कई लोग बीमारी से निरोग भी हुए हैं, दूर बीमारी के कष्ट कटे हैं, स्वास्थ्य लाभ कर रहे हैं, उनकी प्रसन्नता में हम भी भागीदार होते हैं। और भी अनेक लोग अपने कर्मों के शुभ कर्मों के फलों के रूप में घरों में प्रसन्नता का वातावरण है, उन सबको भी याद करके हम उनकी प्रसन्नता में भागीदार बनते हैं। लॉकडाउन के कारण जो वातावरण शुद्ध हुआ है उससे पशु पक्षी सब प्रसन्न दिखते हैं, हम भी उनकी प्रसन्नता में शामिल होते हैं और ये शुभेच्छा करते हैं कि कोई और उनकी प्रसन्नता में, सुख संपत्ति में कोई बाधा ना आए, कोई व्यवधान ना हो, सभी प्रसन्न रहें, स्वस्थ रहें। यथा लब्धा संपत्तितो मा विगच्छन्तु। उपेक्षा ब्रह्म विहार। जीवन में उतार चढ़ाव तो आते रहते हैं, कभी सुख, कभी दुख, कभी लाभ, कभी हानि, कभी यश, कभी अपयश। इन सब परिस्थितियों में हम सब समता बनाए रख पाएँ, ऐसी शुभकामना। और उसके लिए भगवान की वाणी समझें, क्योंकि ख़ास तौर पे अप्रिय परिस्थिति में रोष जागना, दूसरों पे दोष देना एक स्वाभाविक सी बात होती है। तो भगवान की वाणी याद रखते हैं कि जो कुछ भी परिस्थिति है हमारे कर्मों का फल है। तो उनकी वाणी को याद करते हैं। कम्मस्य का कम्मदायादा कम्मयोनि कम्मबन्धु कम्मपटिसरण यं कम्मं करिष्यन्ति कल्याणं वा पापकं वा
तस्य
दायादा भविष्यन्ति। हम सभी के चित्त लोक धम्मों के स्पर्श से कंपायमान न हो, तभी संभव है जब हमारी प्रज्ञा पुष्ट हो, हमारी दृष्टि सम्यक हो, आर्य सत्यों को ठीक से देख पाएँ। सभी लोग ऐसा करने में सक्षम हो, ऐसी शुभकामना करते हैं ताकि दुख से मुक्त हों। सर्वे सत्ता सुखी होन्तु, सर्वे होन्तु सुखिनो, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा किञ्चित् पापमागमात्, किञ्चित् शोकमागमात्, मा किञ्चित् दुःखमागमात्। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन सदा स्वस्ति भवन्तु ते। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वधर्मानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता सर्वसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सुखी भवन्तु ते। अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवा बुद्धं भगवन्तं अभिवादेमि।
साक्षातो
भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि। सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो संघं नमामि।